All right, today we're jumping into a really fascinating and honestly pretty unconventional take on heart-healthy foods. We're going to break down a source that argues many foods we think are great for us, well, they might not be. And some of the foods we've all been told to avoid, they might just be the real powerhouses. Let's dive in.
So our source material kicks things off with this. And wow, what a statement. It's basically throwing down the gauntlet. This is a direct challenge to so much of what we hear every day. And it really sets the stage for a total rethink of what a superfood for your heart even is. It's meant to make you question, well, everything.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll get into the core idea, this contrarian thesis. Then, we'll look at why some popular healthy foods just don't make the cut according to this source. After that, we'll dive into the good stuff, the animal-based powerhouses, the amazing things from the sea, and a few other essential additions to round it all out.
Okay, so the core idea here is pretty simple, but it's a big one. A lot of what we've been told about heart health might be completely backward. The source basically argues that our fear of things like saturated fat, cholesterol, and even salt has seriously misguided us. It's time for a major rethink. So before we even get to the list of what to eat, the source first takes a sledgehammer to the list of things we think we should be eating. The argument is that a lot of these trendy health foods, yeah, they might have some antioxidants, but they're missing some really crucial fundamental nutrients. And this slide really lays it all out. You've got your go-to superfoods, right? Kale, chia seeds, walnuts, all the stuff you see everywhere. But the critique is sharp. They often lack complete protein, the omega-3s they have are hard for our bodies to actually use, and they're missing key players like vitamin B12 and good quality zinc. So, according to the source, instead of feeling amazing, you might just end up feeling bloated and tired. So if those foods are out, then what's in? Well, this is where it gets interesting. The source builds its entire foundation on super nutrient-dense animal foods. The claim is that these foods provide the vitamins and minerals in their most active bioavailable forms. The forms our bodies can actually use, no problem. And we're starting with probably the most controversial one right out of the gate, red meat. Yep, the very food that's so often blamed for heart issues is put right at the top, number one as a superfood for the heart. Specifically, we're talking high-quality, grass-fed red meat. So you gotta ask, why? Well, it all comes down to the heart's mitochondria. They're like the tiny energy factories in your heart cells. The source argues red meat is loaded with stuff that fuels them. You've got carnitine and CoQ10 for energy, stearic acid for mitochondrial repair, carnosine as a powerful antioxidant, and readily absorbable heme B12 to keep a nasty compound called homocysteine from getting out of hand. Next up, we have two more foods that have been on the nutritional naughty list for decades: grass-fed butter and egg yolks. In this view, they're not the bad guys at all. In fact, they're seen as incredibly dense packages of critical and often forgotten nutrients.
Now, a key nutrient in both butter and eggs is vitamin K2, and this one is so important to understand. The source describes it as a traffic cop for calcium in your body. Its job is to tell calcium where to go, into your bones and teeth, and maybe more importantly, where not to go, keeping it out of your arteries where it can cause all sorts of problems.
And this is where you see how connected everything in the body is. Egg yolks are packed with something called choline. According to the source, choline is absolutely vital for keeping your liver healthy and preventing a condition known as fatty liver. And a healthy liver means you're less likely to have dangerous fat buildup around your heart. See, it's all linked. And speaking of fats, check this out. The source makes a pretty shocking claim. It suggests that when you eat things like industrial seed oils, the unstable fats from them can get stuck in your cell membranes for around 600 days. That's almost 2 years. It really drives home the argument for why choosing stable, healthy fats from things like butter and egg yolks is so critical. All right, moving on. We've got two foods that our ancestors ate all the time but are pretty rare in modern diets: high-quality cheese and organ meats. These are presented as the true nutritional powerhouses that we've been missing out on. And the benefits are really specific. For cheese, the source points to hard cheeses like Charlesberg as being one of the best sources of that all-important vitamin K2. And organ meats, they're on another level. Eating beef heart, for instance, gives you the highest natural source of CoQ10. And liver is just packed with active vitamin A and copper, which are essential for building strong, healthy arteries.
Okay, now let's head to the ocean. This next group of foods is all about the unique and powerful nutrients we can only get from marine sources. We're talking crucial anti-inflammatory fats and essential trace minerals that our land-based food is often lacking.
So specifically, the source calls out shellfish, things like oysters, clams, and mussels, and of course, fatty fish like wild-caught salmon and sardines. You put these together and you've got an incredible 1-2 punch of minerals and omega-3s. Now, I know what you might be thinking. What about mercury in fish? Well, the source addresses this head-on, pointing out that shellfish are also loaded with selenium, a mineral that actually helps your body neutralize mercury. And at the same time, fatty fish deliver those ready-to-use super potent forms of omega-3s, DHA and EPA that are just fantastic for calming inflammation.
And finally, we get to the supporting players. Think of these as the foundational pieces that help the whole system run smoothly. They're not just about direct nutrients for the heart, but about creating a healthy environment inside your body, supporting your gut, managing stress hormones, and providing the raw materials for repair.
The last 3 on the list are fermented foods, especially a Japanese food called natto, unrefined sea salt, and collagen, which you can get from bone broth or as a supplement.
Each of these has a really unique job. Natto is not just off the charts high in vitamin K2, but it has a special enzyme that this source claims helps reduce unwanted blood clotting. Real sea salt gives you over 80 trace minerals and helps keep your stress hormone cortisol in check. And collagen? It provides special molecules that literally signal your body to go and repair your tissues.
Okay, let's tackle this one because it's a biggie. The source completely challenges the whole low salt idea. It explains that when your body doesn't get enough sodium, it can release a hormone called renin that actually constricts your blood vessels, which can raise your blood pressure. The argument is that getting enough unrefined salt is actually key to keeping this whole system balanced.
And here's a mind-blowing detail about collagen. According to the source, it's not just a building block. About 10% of the collagen you consume gets absorbed as unique little peptides that act like messengers. They travel through your body and send a signal for your own systems to ramp up repair and start producing more of your own collagen. How cool is that? So let's bring this all home. This whole contrarian view isn't just a random list of foods to eat. It's all built on 2 fundamental principles. First, prioritize the most nutrient-dense foods on the planet, foods that give you vitamins in their active, ready-to-use forms. And second, focus on the nutrients that directly fuel the mitochondria, the little energy engines inside your heart muscle. And really, that leaves us with one big question to chew on. Whether you agree with all of this or not, it forces you to think. If the real keys to health are packed into these ancestral, nutrient-dense foods, what does that say about the highly processed, nutrient-poor foods that make up so much of the modern diet? It's definitely a powerful thought to end on.